Hello, my loves. My name is Eloise Skye. I'm a connection, relationship, and empowerment coach, and I'm here today to talk about how to stop canceling plans. This topic has come up so many times over the last couple of weeks. People keep asking me about it, or even just venting. Either they've had plans canceled on them, or they are finding that they don't want to do the things that they want to do, or they want to connect more, right? Connection is so important for us as humans. It is fundamental to our existence. And so many of us feel disconnected. But when it comes down to it, when it comes down to actually doing the things to connect with people and to, stick to our plans, it can be a whole other ball game, right? And we can lose sight of the fact that we do want to connect to people and that it is nourishing to us. So this is something that I also experience, and my experience is often that I might make plans when I feel like doing things, and by the time the actual plans arrive, I don't feel like doing it anymore. Or even we can get very fixed in our routine, so that if someone wants to do something with us spontaneously, we're like, oh no, I have to do this other thing. And it's like, well, do you though? Or could you just like come and hang out for a bit? So I think that firstly, it's like getting honest with yourself, right? Once you recognize that you are going to have this little mental tug of war with yourself as these plans approach, whether it's like in the lead up, depending on what the plans are, whether it is like day of. We can tend to do this thing. If any of you have read Existential Kink, it's kind of to do with that, where it's like we just like to kind of have these little debates with ourselves, and we get something out of it. We get some kind of sick, sadistic pleasure out of like telling ourselves that we don't want to go, and then like forcing ourselves to go, which is quite cruel. When really we could just bypass all of that and just go to the thing, right? And I do believe that there are people out there that do operate in that way. I'm just not one of them. And so getting honest with yourself that this is how you operate, right? So then you can preempt this conversation. So when it starts entering into your head, and I'm just thinking about something that I've got coming up in a couple of weeks, and it's like I'm really excited about it now, but then like as it approaches, like so being aware and expecting that that is going to happen, that there's going to be that point where the resistance starts to creep in. And so thinking about what is going to support you to want to go to this thing, what is going to support you to want to keep your plans. So depending on what it is, especially if it is like something that is going to either take a lot of time or take a lot of energy, for me, that looks like something that is like a long, like all day thing. I tend to get sort of more resistance towards those things, because it's the amount of time that I'm, doing other things, I guess. So firstly, like getting your energy right when in the lead up to that, because when we are already feeling frazzled, we are already feeling overwhelmed, then our defenses are down. So we are not able to step up to that resistant voice in our head and be like, no, I've made these plans, I'm going to go, right? When that voice comes in, if we're feeling a little bit vulnerable, we'll be like, okay, no, I don't want to do it. So I'm not going to. So whatever that looks like for you, whether that is meditation, whether that's just really taking care of yourself, reducing screen time, I really think that that has an impact on our mental resilience, as well as our overwhelm. And so that's the first thing, right? Is firstly, well, it's the second thing. No, firstly, knowing that you're going to be having this experience of the resistance, doing what you can to get yourself right mentally so that you can have the best opportunity to be able to step up to that voice and say, no, we're just going to go. Remembering why you signed up to this thing, why you made these plans, who you're meeting, why you love them, why you connect with them, what is going to be fun, what is fun that you're doing together, because we can also lose sight of that when we're getting caught up in those mental games. It could be even like the community aspect of it. Like if you're going to something where you won't know anyone, you don't know who you're going to meet, right? And I believe that in every every situation that you find yourself in, it's very synchronistic, right? Something has pulled all of those people there. Whether you meet people, whether you don't meet people, I still think that there is something to be said for the energy of the collective of people who have converged at a place and at a time for a specific purpose. Maybe it is going to help you to go if you plan what you're going to wear, right? And you're going to dress cute and you're going to be like, yes, I get to go out and I get to look fabulous. Maybe that might resonate with some of you, that might not resonate with all of you. Even thinking about anything else that is going to help you to want to go there. Sometimes for me, that is like doing something on the way or doing something on the way home. That is something that I want to do that I wouldn't necessarily do on my own, or like haven't gotten around to doing it. Like, for example, I've got something in a couple of weeks and I know that I'm I'm going to go to IKEA afterwards because it's right near there. And the rest of the time I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered going to IKEA because it's like far away. So that's like tying that onto those plans to be like, okay, well, I'm going to do these two things and they're both going to be awesome, but I know that I'm not going to have the resistance to going to IKEA because I know that there's things there that I need to get. And after all of that, if you still feel like bailing, just bail. Just bail. Because I certainly believe that the kind of people in our lives that I want to have around, that we want to have around, are people that are okay with meeting you where you are at. And if you really don't feel like you have the energy or the mental capacity or the emotional capacity to do stuff, then that's okay. And people that get upset about that, they're wanting to suck you into a pattern of codependency, which says that they are not okay if you're not doing what they want you to do. So they're thinking about their disappointment or whatever. They can still have that experience and they can still hold that experience, but also they need to acknowledge that what your experience is, which is really important. It's important in any relationship. So I hope that that is helpful to someone out there. As I said, this has come up so much over the last couple of weeks. And even the kind of like, no one wants to do things, no one wants to make plans. And it's like, yeah, like, again, we want to connect, but we can be resistant to making the plans because we know that we're going to go through this journey, essentially the hero's journey, which I've made another video about it. I'm kind of joking, but I'm also kind of not, where we have to fight with ourselves to actually do the thing. Anyway, I hope that is helpful. Give me a like if you liked it, give me a subscribe, and I will see you next time.